Hello, this is Candace, and you can see that I'm by myself. My friend Jenny was unable to come and meet me today. We had, last night we actually met. We made 2 videos, we uploaded them, and we don't live where the internet is very well. So this is a little bit, the obstacles that we face making these videos. We really want to do it, but neither one of us live where the internet is very well. And so then coupled with our schedules being all over the place, and now that Jenny's got a new job, it just makes getting together, it just means that we have to be a little more creative. And so we got together last night, we met, we did 2 great videos. We felt great about it because we missed last week because she got an unexpected invitation to go out of town with her husband, and you know, husband and wife time, big priority in marriage, so she wanted to do that. And so we uploaded the videos, and because we can't do lives, we don't get the instant feedback that maybe something is wrong with the video. And so we upload the video, I start seeing some comments, and then the comments are coming by that about halfway through the video there's no sound. So at first we didn't know if it was a YouTube thing. Sometimes there's a delay in the processing of the full video, but it wasn't a delay in that. It was the actual video on her phone. So we're not sure. We're using these new microphones. We don't know if it was that. We don't know. We used a different location. We don't know if it was that or if it was just a fluke thing. We don't know. We don't know. And so this is not going to be the normal. My friend Jenny's coming back. She really wanted to do it, but she had to work. She's keeping her grandkids. It was just going to be difficult. And with all this legal breaking news that's going on, we really wanted to come to our subscribers and, you know, get the word out there of there's been, the judge has told his decision in the Lori and Chad Daybell case about whether the case will be severed and whether the cases will be moved to October, or will they'll move to January, or we'll have one in October and one in January. So he's come down with that ruling. We had the Josh Duggar sentencing in federal court, which was not televised. And so we got a lot of information about that. And of course we got the Johnny Depp trial going on. And so first thing first, Jenny had not heard when we did the video yesterday about what Judge Boyce had wrote and sent out about the Chad and Lori Daybell case. And so I explained it to her, so I'll explain it like this again, and I got her to give her prediction. She did not know which way the judge ruled. So, of course, we have Chad and John Pryor who want to sever the cases. They do not want the cases to be tried together. Feel like John Pryor states that it feels like it is prejudicial to his client, that it hurts his client to be sitting with Lori Daybell. Hey, I agree. It does. It hurts his client. And we know that that case is set for January 2023 in Ada County. So Lori, who her case was on stay because she was incompetent to stand trial, so she decides that she does not want to waive her right to a speedy trial. And so that is her right, to waive her right to a speedy trial. So she, so the judge set her trial to be in October because it has to be within so many days of your arraignment. And so it was to be in October. So the state filed a motion for good cause that these cases should be together and that these cases should be in January. And so the judge heard argument, and then the last Zoom meeting that I seen, the judge did, he listened to Chad and not Chad, listened to Lori's attorney, Archibald, and Archibald went over that he has discussed with her, but the implications of having a speedy trial, but she wants a speedy trial. She wants to be joined with Chad, but she wants her trial in October. So it's up to Judge Boyce what to do. So he came out with it yesterday. I gotta find my glasses because I have to be able to read. And so we talked about this state filing for good cause to continue the trial till January and to prevent improper severance. I didn't mention, so I asked Jenny what she thought the prediction was. We went through all of that, and I said, what do you think happened? Do you think the judge kept them together? And do you think he moved Chad to October, or do you think he moved Lori to January, or kept it all separate? And actually, Jenny got it right. Jenny guessed that Judge Boyce would keep them together and that he would move it to January. And that's what he did. And so, in that, he lists that they are co-conspirators in the commission of several crimes, including 2 counts of first-degree murder. Again, the counter argument to that is that she has a right to a speedy trial. Both of them do. And that that the state has agreed that good cause to extend the statutory 6-month limitation for defendant's trial, requesting trial to concurrently with Daybell's in January 2023. We talked about that she was incompetent, and that's what caused a big delay. So the reason that they cited that they did not want to have improper severance is they were named together in a single charging document, the indictment, for serious crimes, murder, and that the state of Idaho is seeking the death penalty. So the defense says it's prejudice to the defendant because a speedy trial gives them, it prevents oppressive pretrial incarceration. You've been sitting in jail all this time waiting for your trial, especially if you were innocent. You would not want to be just locked up, can't, have your moment in court. It minimizes anxiety and the concern of the accused, and it limits the possibility that the defense will be impaired. So the state requested a 90-day delay. So when the judge looks at that, he says that goes against good cause, that about her being incarcerated. Then her mental state is fragile, and he said that was neutral in the assessment. He says this part up here where it minimizes anxiety and concern of the accused, he said that's a wash. That's neither here nor there. Then he talks about limit of impairment of the defense. He found in favor of that for good cause. And, I felt like that when Archibald was talking in the Zoom meeting, that he sort of, his inflection in his voice, sort of, he was trying to get the judge, this is my opinion, to read through the lines, read in between the lines, that we have discussed with her that if we go in October, that the defense just got the case when she got arraigned. We just got the money from the state to be able to put up a defense. It's putting us a little bit in a corner, rushing us with the amount of, it's a death penalty case, the amount of evidence, multiple, all kind of states are involved where these crimes were committed. I know they're only doing what they can do in Idaho, but the evidence is just tremendous. So I felt like he was kind of saying, look, we've discussed it with her, but she still is insistent that she wants a speedy trial, which goes right with her personality. So the judge ruled that they were co-conspirators in the overt acts that are alleged in the indictment. conspiracy have led the court to conclude that the defendants should be tried together in a single trial. And that only makes sense. I mean, they're going to move it to Ada County. All the money that's going to cost the state of Idaho, all these people's lives that have to be disrupted to ensure that they get a fair trial. So the Judge Boyce, basically granted the state's motion. So that was great, because I think that the greatest thing about it is, I told Jenny yesterday, Lori didn't get her way and Chad didn't get his way. Lori wants them to stay together. Chad did not. Lori wanted her trial in October. She didn't get it. Chad wanted them separated. He didn't get it. And it's about time that the rubber start meeting the road, and they start getting told no in their life, because apparently they hadn't been told that too much. So I thought that, and a lot of people feel like it was a mistake maybe that the judge did this. But when I watched the Johnny Depp and Amber trial, the TMZ, they had a video and they were tipped off about some things. And so they went before the judge wanting to say, we have freedom of speech. We want to protect our sources. It sort of hurts our business if we have to reveal the person who gave the information, the source of the information. And the judge said to this person, this lawyer that's making this argument, in any other case, probably I would agree with what you're saying. But in this case of defamation, and that this TMZ videos and this TMZ source being tipped off at the courthouse, it goes directly to the defamation of the case, the defamation claim in the case. And therefore, you're going to have to reveal it. And so I do think that overall something might seem like that she has a right to a speedy trial. She wants a speedy trial. Why are we delaying a speedy trial for her? And that she could come back and win on appeal of that. But I think that in this particular case, that the judge can see, and I mean 90-day delay. I mean, it's not like it's a 1.5-year delay, a 2-year delay. It's a 90-day delay if it stays on track. So I feel like it's the right decision. I feel like, again, both of them got told no about something, and I believe that it shows that Judge Boyce is really thoughtful about the case, and he's doing his best to make the best decision. So we'll just have to see how all of this plays out, but this is what Judge Boyce has settled down. So next we want to talk about Josh Duggar sentencing. And for the people who don't know who Josh Duggar is, Josh Duggar was on a series called 19 Kids and Counting on TLC. It was a family who had all these kids, and again, severe religion, cult-like behavior is on display. I'll say that, just on display. And so, but the show is very popular. So they show him getting married. He's the oldest of all of these kids. And they show him, getting married or whatever. And then next thing you know, he's up in Washington, in some Christian conservative position representing families up in the United States Capitol. And he's up there, and then it comes out, because the show's still going on, that he had molested some of his sisters. He had a lot of sisters, and that he was about 14 or 15 years old, and that one of the girls was under the age of 5 when this happened. So, it comes out publicly. They take the show down. They let some of the daughters continue on with like a spinoff show. But Josh was, pretty much ostracized from TV, and I don't know what all happened. He was also caught up when he was on this up there in Washington. He was on that Ashley Madison website where married people hook up. They're not really looking for a love relationship, but they're just looking for hookups, and they're married. And so his name was on that when all of that broke. So I mean, he his character took some big hits when all this information started coming out. Well, then of course he gets caught with possessing and receiving child sexual abuse material. And so he gets convicted of that, and this is a federal crime. And federal court is different than like a state court. Federal court, they're going to sentence you within 3 months. There's some sort of point system that they do. And all of this information I'm getting is from that lawyer, Carrie Jernigan, on TikTok, that she actually is a defense attorney at this courthouse that this happened at in the state of Arkansas. And so the other day on May 25th, when this sentencing was going on, they weren't televising it. They didn't televise none of this trial. And, I don't know what makes something, why they televise some things and don't televise other things. I have no idea about that. But so he could face, when he went in on, now he's been in jail all this time, he couldn't be out. He could face 5 to 20 years in federal prison. Personally, I was hoping for the 20 years, but, I didn't know how it was going to go, because she said there's this point system, and they kind of look at these points, like how many computers you had images on, how many images you had, how many images you had shared, maybe the acts that are going on that you're viewing, the age of the victims. All of these things give you these points. And so I was at work, and so she's coming out to the car giving us updates, and his he got 12 years and 7 months, 151 months in federal prison. And that in federal prison, you have to serve 85% of your time to be eligible for release. And I just felt like, really? I just don't think that's enough time. I felt like, I don't know that you can be really rehabilitated from this type of behavior and mindset. And I just felt like he needed more time than that. I don't even know what 85% of 12 years is, but he's 36 now. So even if he served the whole thing, he'd be 48. So I was a little bit bummed about it, but of course she's coming out, she's making these snippets of video. But then at the end of it, she uploads another video where, first of all, when he's in federal prison, he is expected to undergo a sex offender treatment program, which I think that's a given. Yes, he needs that. And then the judge had dropped one of the charges. I think it was a charge for distributing this material. But she said the judge took into account that he had actually molested young victims. And so that went in, and that gave him some more points to get that 12 and a half years. But he has 20 years of supervised release, probation. And as we know from Redonda, you have to pay for your probation officer every month. It's not just that the probation officer is keeping up with you. You actually have to pay for that service. That's part of your probation. He also has to pay a $50,100 fee to the court for special assessment. But the next part is where I feel like the judge really makes up for some of this, that he didn't give him 20 years in federal prison. So he says there's He can have no unsupervised contact with minors, including his own children. He cannot view pornography. He cannot use or possess a computer with internet access. And I mean, you think about it, that's an iPhone. I was telling Jenny yesterday, I mean, if you're a farmer, I'm sure that you use a computer with internet access to order inventory, to, keep up with your books, to have Excel spreadsheets. I mean, almost everything we do is tied to something, some form of a computer, because, I mean, basically a phone is a little computer with internet access. I mean, I guess you'll have to have a flip phone. I don't know. But she said that at the very end, that the judge looked right at him, and I wrote this down word for word, exactly what she said. She said that the judge said to him, "You have done some very bad things in your life, but your life as a whole, you have done some good things, and it is only fair for the court to recognize it." However, John Wooten said it best, "The true test of a man's character is what he does when no one else is watching." You have still not accepted any responsibility for what you have done. I thought that, is so true, that your true character is what you do when no one else is watching. And certainly that applies to Lori and Chad and that whole case. It probably accounts for most criminal cases, to be honest with you, because you're doing evil. Evil doesn't like the light. Evil doesn't like the day, pretty much. And so anyway, that's the update. We got the Johnny Depp and Amber trial, which, Jenny and I made predictions yesterday. We've watched a lot of the trial. Whether Johnny wins on all counts, which I kind of think he will. Jenny does too. I do think he's won the court of public opinion. And it's always interesting that you can hear something in a fact, but when you actually hear the people get up there, you can sort of make an emotional determination. Is this person being authentic? Is this person being real? Are they being vulnerable? Usually, if you are a person who can feel empathy for another person, if they're expressing something and they're upset, you can get a little upset about it. And so certainly that is why we have a jury and not a bunch of robots just sitting up there getting fed facts or read facts. So, I don't know what's going to happen with that case. They are right now in closing arguments. I believe there will be a verdict today. The judge did tell them yesterday that if they don't have a verdict today, they will not deliberate Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, so it would be Tuesday. We want to do a whole video on it. I mean, we've really invested a lot of time into this case. Of course, I'm a court watcher. That's what I really get into the details of that. And so the case has been absolutely fascinating. I'm sure that when we get one day to the Lori and Chad Daybell case, we'll be given these daily snippets of what's going on in the case and our take on the thing. But anyway, we miss Miss Jenny. We miss our friend Jenny. And, but we really didn't want to go 2 weeks without, coming to you. We were trying to work with these technical difficulties. We just don't know exactly what the problem is. But I told her the whole week that the universe seems a little bit off. The universe seems altered on some level. So, and I'm gonna do the next video that we were doing because I hit the gold mine. I felt we were talking about the Beverly Hillbillies, and they had that song on the beginning of that. On the beginning of that show where it talks about Jed goes out. He's not really looking for oil, but he hits it. So the next video is going to be about narcissistic personality disorder, but it's going to be from a person who suffers with narcissistic personality disorder. And it is just eye-opening and riveting to what this man has to say, just in general, about them and how they relate to their children, how they relate to grief, how they relate to marriage, to death, and all the things that sort of have been touched in this case, that sometimes we sit here and we wonder a little bit, like, you know, how can Lori act this way in this case when a normal person would act? This is not normal behavior. And so the details that he gives is amazing. So anyway, talk to you later.